specific no expectations.
Hi, my name is Neha, and I'm just very excited to know what the session is going to be all about. I have a 6.5-year-old girl, and obviously, since I'm new to the entire concept of unlearning and unschooling and following traditional practices, so I'm trying to incorporate a lot of things, and I'm just very eager to know what is this session going to be about, because I think for me as a parent, it's the right time to also know about things so that I can impart and pass the correct information and knowledge to my child. Only if I know the correct thing will I be able to give it to her. So I've been very eagerly waiting for this session since the time it was actually announced in June. I was so eager that I was actually trying to press the Zoom link yesterday. And I was wondering, why is it not connecting? Because I do not know that the date is not the 5th. So I'm just very excited about the session, and I hope I will get to learn a lot of things.
I also have a lot of stuff to share. In fact, I was not knowing what to share in the 1 hour time. So that much of information is there. And these are all like observational. So what I have noted through my interaction with indigenous communities from Tamil Nadu, from Madurai. So a lot of research I have done, and I have studied the science behind it also. Why do people practice certain things? And why they have been following a tradition, a culture. So why do things have to be in a certain way? So that kind of a research also I have done, and so now it's I think time. Shall we get started, or shall we wait for a few minutes?
I think we can get started. We already have some people with us. I think we can get started. But Aparna, before we start, can you just slightly tilt your camera so we have your right now your face is right in one corner. I want it at the center.
I am trying to adjust my camera. 1 second. Is it any better now?
Yeah, better, slightly better, yes.
Okay. Great.
If you can bring it a little bit further down, it will be even better, yeah.
So I think. Okay, so is my PPT visible to all?
Yes. Now it's visible, I guess. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the objective of the session is to look at practices followed by our traditional communities or indigenous communities, what they do, especially for caring for the girl child. So the menarche, during the puberty phase and post that, what practices are carried out. And the source is purely an observational one, and we can see why these practices are carried out through the lens of Ayurveda and even the modern science, quantum science. So I have used a lot of images from Google so that it is easy for us to understand. So these are like practices preserved from ancient times and passed on to the next generation. So I had to go back and study my roots and It's actually a ode to wisdom of our ancestors. So I request all of you to actually take what resonates, and whatever doesn't resonate, you can just ignore it. Or you can go back to your own roots, what it has to offer, and study and correlate it with Ayurveda or science. You'll definitely find a solution for whatever you're seeking. Right? So I'll move on. So I'm sure all of you are familiar with this. So these are the 4 seasons of nature. But have you ever wondered why everything doesn't happen at the same time? I mean, why doesn't the chillness happen in the spring, or why the fall or the leaves fall during the summer? Why we don't have flowers in the flowers blooming the spring season in the winter? Why we do not have everything at the same time? Why do we have a season? Why does nature have to have a cycle, a spring cycle, a summer cycle, an autumn cycle, a winter cycle? Have you ever wondered? Why do mangoes come only in summer? Why do flowers bloom only in the spring? Why is everyone silent? Is it boring? Neha, are you there?
No, we are just, I think, wondering. We haven't thought about it.
Okay. So
We don't have the answers actually. It's not that it's boring. We're silent because we don't have the answers. We haven't thought about it.
okay. So nature has certain way for preparing itself. The entire effort of nature goes into preparation of the flower blooming phase, and the objective is to give us the juiciest and sweetest of all the fruits. So that is why nature has so many cycles and seasons, and lots of preparation goes on. So now let us correlate nature and women. So now does it, correlate? Now does it make sense? What is happening in nature is happening in a woman. Okay, so let me explain. So the winter is considered to be the time when the cycles happening, when you're menstruating. That is the time when you protect yourself. During winter, the nature protects itself. And the spring starts from day 7 to day 13. That is a follicular phase. And once the flower blooms, you get the fruits, or the ovulation happens. That is day 14 to 21. So this is the follicular phase. And once all the fruits are come, the fall begins. Nature is detoxing itself. Nature has to renew itself. So that is the fall period. This is the luteal phase. So it's like this. The period between the winter and spring is called the luteal phase, and summer and autumn is winter and spring is the follicular phase, and summer and autumn is a luteal phase. So internally within the woman's body, the seasons are going on, the cycles are going on. So nature is manifesting itself into the body of the woman. So many times we wonder, what is this nature? Why the rivers are called as by the feminine name? Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. Why civilizations always start the Sindhu civilization, or there was a civilization in Ganges. There is a big Dravidian civilization near the Vaigai and Kaveri river, near the Tamirabarani river. Why rivers are worshipped? Why are they given the feminine names, because it is the creative force of the universe. It can create an entire civilization. So that is the energy which every woman carries. They carry a creative force within themselves, because they have the whole nature within them happening in cycles, right? So the earth is women and women is earth. So this is what I have written. A girl's journey from childhood to womanhood is nothing less than journey back to rhythm of nature's heartbeat. This is something I was inspired to draw and paint. It came from within. So here you have the mother nature and you have the girls, and the heartbeat of the nature and heartbeat of the girl child is in sync. So even if you see certain movies, they would have shown that even in the Avatar 2, you can see that the girl is able to sense what is going to happen in the mother nature. So you are completely aligned with the earth. And if you go back to tribal communities, they can predict when the rain will come, or when the different events of nature will happen. So every milestone is a grand celebration. So these are certain practices, certain rituals carried out, and every milestone is celebrated as a grand event. So we don't have time to go through all. Sorry, somebody had a question.
బయలుదేరుతారు ఆల్మోస్ట్ రాజమండ్రి దగ్గరలో ఉంటారు.
Can
నిన్న
people go on mute?
ఈవినింగ్ నేను మధ్యాహ్నం బయలుదేరాను.
Okay, so every one of these event is celebrated as a grand ceremony. I will not go into much details into this, but I will just pick one. So the first one is the Garbhadhan. So Garbhadhan is your woman's womb is donated to Mother Nature, so that a very higher progeny is created, and that progeny is useful to the divine, is useful to the Mother Nature. So they didn't create the child for their own self. They create the intent for the progeny, or intent for childbirth, was that the child should be useful for Mother Nature. So the womb itself the garbha was given as a dhan to Mother Nature. And moving further, why do we celebrate the different rituals? Why everything is ritualistic in tribal communities or indigenous communities is because there is a science behind it. So before we go into the further slides, any questions? Is there any questions? Okay, so there is something called as hippocampus in our brain, and there are a lot of research papers about this hippocampus. So this hippocampus, what it does is, it translates any short-term memories into patterns of destiny or a long-term memory, and it creates a spatial navigation in the time and space in your reality. So that is the purpose of hippocampus. So this is the reason why the key events from a from a girl's life was celebrated as a grand ritual. So during the menarche phase especially, there is a heavy downpour of energy, cosmic energy, into the women's body. So at that time, a lot of fear must be avoided, and she must be kept as happy as possible. And the event must be celebrated. And she must be embraced as she is. So before we get into the details of all these things, we'll look at some more things which our indigenous communities followed. Those who have an Ayurvedic background, or those who have known some of our ancient science, they'll be using these terms called prana, nadis, marma points, panchakosh, sthula sharir, sukshma sharir. So again, we will not get into details of all this, but this 5, there are actually 10 pranas, out of which 5 are main. And let me pick 2 out of them. So our body has something called as the pranic body or energy body. So prana is the upward moving energy, and apana is the downward moving energy. So when you're in a high energy situation, the prana moves up. When you are having a bowel movement, or when you are having a menstrual cycles, the apana, the downward moving energy is more. So this is the prana system. And there are something called as nadi. Nadis are something which carry the life force or the vital force. And marma are the points where the different nadis meet. They are also energy centers. And of course, many of you must have seen this kind of an energy diagram, the 7 chakras. So this is the fundamentals based on which these practices were created and designed, so that the energy is balanced at every phase of the girl's life. Okay, so the first main thing is the sesame oil bath. In Ayurveda, it is called as abhyanga. So this is a practice which is given very high importance, because it opens up the nadis, and there is a good flow of prana in the child's body. And sesame oil is used because sesame oil absorbs a lot of cosmic energy. So we are all told that vitamin D is very important, but more than vitamin D, there are millions and millions of cosmic rays which are more helpful than vitamin D. So if we have to imbibe and absorb these cosmic energies, the sesame oil is of very good use here. All right. So, and it is a skill. Giving a oil massage is a very what to say? It is a very specialized skill. You must not give too much of force, or you must not give too little. So it must be the force must come from the wrist. So you have to give a gentle massage, and especially the head region. It absorbs the maximum amount of energy from the cosmos. Even the sun itself has millions and millions of rays, and all these rays are very important, not just vitamin D. All the rays are important, and these rays are maximum during the sunrise time. When the sun is orange in color, at that time you have to apply the sesame oil, and you have to wait for some 20 minutes when the sun is in the orange color. And it activates the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is also called as the master gland, and it regulates all the hormone of the girls. So it activates the different endocrine glands and exocrine glands. So pituitary is the master gland. So it is an art. Giving a abhyanga is an art and a skill. You have to, take the permission of the child. You have to make her feel comfortable. You have to say that it is okay. I am going to give you a massage, and you have to make her feel good and then give her the massage. And you have to know some of the points, like this is one of the most important point, and there are certain points in which the energy, which is called as the energy center, so all have to be given proper massage. So you have to expose her to the very early morning sunrise, and you have to use the shikakai for giving the bath, because shikakai also helps in the absorption of the energy from the cosmos. Then you give the bath using this. There is a the green gram powder which you make, or an uptan. So what it does is it does a lot of healing for the skin. So the girl feels very good when you're giving her, more than the soap, when the touch of the payatamav. So this payatamav carries the energy from Mercury planet. So Mercury is a Mercury, or the Buddha. So it is a planet of intellect. It gives good speech. So it carries the energy of Mercury. So this is how our ancestors designed the. It's a spiritual bath. So it opens up energy blocks. The cosmic energy flows through the nadis, and it increases the prana level. And after the bath is done, you are giving a fumigation through sambrani. So sambrani is a herbal product which is used especially in Tamil Nadu. So the entire body is fumigated. It gives a good aroma also. And you take the drishti or nazar after the bath. And this on the day when you take this bath, you are receptive. You're highly receptive to. Someone go on mute. I request everyone to please be on mute. I am hearing some songs. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So yeah. So on the day of when you take this kind of a bath, you are receptive to energy from cosmos, and so you must avoid wasting that energy. Don't waste this energy in arguing or doing a lot of unnecessary work. Your receptive, your receptivity increases. So sesame oil bath is very important. And if you know a little bit of the Hindu calendar or the Indian version of the calendar, avoid the bath during your birth star or the Janma Nakshatra. So any questions on this? Because this is a very important practice, and it is for the hormonal balance. If you do this right from the childhood, the hormone imbalance will not happen. Sometimes, see, if the child got accustomed, she will definitely ask for it.
Okay.
And if she's resisting this, body looks that the body is trying to resist.
That can be used in, like, the oil baths can be used in any place. It is not just to our land, right? Like India, it can be used even when we are in a different
Yes.
country, right? Just want to understand, because they would have designed it based on the our knowledge in India or it is for every country? I always confuse between this thing for everything. Like whatever it comes, I would confuse whether it is to be practiced only in that land or it can be practiced outside as well.
Sesame oil bath, you can practice it if you are out of the country. But only requirement is the sun should be there. The sun rays should be there. Don't do it on a rainy day, on a heavy winter day, on a snowfall day.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, the oil makes you receptive to the
Anger,
sun's.
come this side.
So whoever is not having any doubts, they can please go on. So the sesame oil, it makes you receptive to the sun's energy or the cosmic energy. And
Okay, got it.
only before during the sunrise time.
Okay, got it, ma'am. Got it. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so we will move on. Okay, the next important
Sorry,
thing.
can I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Just one question. This oil bath that you are saying, oil bath and shikakai podi bath, for how many? I mean, you're talking about babies and small girls, or for how long because it's very, very wonderful that I learned that it regulates the hormones. So I wanted to know till what age can you give this oil massage to young girls?
Yes, you can give it from 1 month. There is one ceremonial bath ceremony that happens. Bathing is a ritual. Before you put the child in a cradle, there is a bathing ritual that happens. So after that ritual onwards, you can continuously do it. Even after you are as many number of times you can do it. Even after your menopause also you can continue.
All right. Thank you so much.
Just avoid the birth start and also avoid the birth tithi.
Okay.
If you understand the Indian calendar, there will be something called as tithi.
Right.
It is a
star
lunar
birthday. Are you talking about star birthday?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The lunar
All right.
day in which your birth happened, because that is the weakest day. That day you will be very weak, and you can be receptive to many things, not just the cosmic energy. Okay,
All right.
so that day alone you avoid it.
Thank you so much.
We'll move on. So the next good thing which can regulate all the hormones is moringa. It is called as murungai in Tamil Nadu. So every part of this moringa, just give me 1 second. I'll switch on the light and come back. So are you all able to see my presentation?
No, yeah, we can see it.
The hormones. Okay, so the moringa leaves, you can make it as a fry and give it, and even the drumstick flowers also they make a recipe out of it, and there is a very, very tasty and yummy like preparation called as avial. Okay, avial is made of drumstick, and there are a lot of other vegetables used, and you use this taro root or arbi. So the taro root is also it produces progesterone, and moringa balances all the hormones. And moringa and taro root is a very good combination. Taro root is also a binder. It helps in binding all your food, and it helps in eliminating the waste very in in a very nice way. So this avial is given regularly to everyone, and it is made of coconut oil, and some amount of coconut milk is also added. So it balances hormones, it does a gentle detox, and it is packed with all kind of vitamins. Okay, and even there is a gum that gets secreted from moringa, so that is also very useful for the fertility. So the next superfood is a plantain flower, the banana. All right, the raw banana is also cooked. The fruit of the banana is eaten. The stem, the plantain stem, tree is cooked and you can eat it. So you just sit. Most of the times you sit down and eat. So when you sit down and eat, you bend, right? When you bend, at that time, a lot of digestive juices get secreted. So that is the advantage of sitting down and eating. And when you are eating in a banana leaf, it will enhance the nutrition of the food. And there is also a ritual of eating food in the full moon. Okay, and especially during the Chitrai month, there is all the full moon days are like a festival days. So during the full moon day, the indigenous community, they eat something called as vilasur. So they pray to the moon, they pray to the full moon, and they consume the food in the banana leaf, sitting on the ground. Okay, so as I already mentioned, full moon days are a celebration days. So now a lot of people are doing a lot of research, and they're saying that full moon day you can do a lot of manifestation. So they write down all their thoughts, whatever is their desires, and then they pray to the moon, and they do a lot of manifestation. But this kind of a ritual was very much there in the indigenous communities. So during okay, so during the full moon day, the deity in the temples was taken out for rounds. There were lot of folk dance. Their folk lores were told. They used to tell moon stories to the children, especially to the girl children. How because moon and women's fertility are completely interlinked. So stories connecting moon and fertility are told, and the older children, they also do a lot of sharing. And it was like how the tribes they work. They share everything with each other in a story format as a folklore. So lot of folk songs were sung to glorify women. So if you take a place like Madurai, the goddess Menarche, she was glorified. Her glory was sung. So you're setting a very high ideals for the girl children. Like in the Thai month, that is January month, there is a Thai Pusam. In the Adi month, there is Adi Puram. Vaigasi month, there is Vaigasi Visakam. So Chittirai month, there is Chitra Purnami. So every month, Masi Magam, Kartike Deepam. So all these are like full moon days which come every month, which become a festival. So and whoever is in a hilly region, they go for a girivalam, means they circumambulate the entire hill on the day of the full moon, on the twilight of the full moon. Okay, there is an utsavam which happened in the temple, and your creative energy is very, very high on the full moon. So body is also 70% water, and we know that the tides are very, very high on the full moon day. and it is the day when the ovulation is very probably likely to happen. And when you celebrate that, it gives an imprint to all your cells that everything is the life is going to be very good in future. Okay, then coming to the no moon day. No moon day is a gratitude day. So this is a day to make peace with everyone, make peace with yourself. So you ask the child that what is worrying you? Do you have anything to express? And then you can pacify the child. And it is also a day to remember the ancestor, pay gratitude to the ancestor. And many people they give gratitude to water bodies and rivers. And whoever is interested in detoxing can do the detoxing on the Amavasya day. So there is a greens called agatti leaves, which you can consume, which is consumed on the Amavasya day. Or some people also eat a special type of neem called as Malai Vendu. So you can do any kind of release old mind patterns, make peace, detox. So all these things you can do on Amavasya. And many women who are completely in sync with the lunar cycles, they menstruate on the Amavasya days or the no moon day. So this, so before we move further, any questions are there? Okay, this is something which is very important.
Ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I just missed the last bit. What did you say about Amavasya, lunas, and the menstruate cycles, ma'am?
Yeah, I was saying that if you are completely in sync with, if you are in a high state of awareness, you will be able to align your cycles with the lunar days. And this no moon day is something when most women have their menstrual cycles. It'll be the first day of your cycle, or somewhere around the no moon day, your cycles will start.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So this picture I wanted to show this because
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
So this no moon day, you said it's about peace. It's offering to the ancestors and everything.
Yeah.
So likewise, in a simple term, what you put for this full moon day?
A full moon day is a manifestation day.
Manifestation day.
It's a day when your creativity is very high. And
Okay.
it's a day of celebration. So if you are if you understand the Indian calendar, it's called as Panchang. Every full moon day is celebration day.
Celebration. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thaipusam, Masimam, all these Kartike Deepam, all these are festivals. And it falls on.
Okay.
So,
okay. Thank you.
So now we will understand how these indigenous communities actually work. Okay, so what their belief is that everything is connected. Everything, everyone, their past life, their ancestors, their future life, their environment, nature, cosmos, universe, everything is connected. That is their belief system. Okay, and this diagram you can see. So even when your grandmother was pregnant, at that time you were a tiny cell in your grandmother's pregnancy time. So that is how, intergenerationally we are connected. And there is a great amount of research which is happening in epigenetics. Epigenetics means that anything and everything in your environment is able to influence your DNA. So the tribes had a very, very, they were highly ambitious. They wanted everybody to progress. And their objective was every woman and every family in the tribe must have a very higher progeny, very strong progeny. So they were all very protective of their women. And they wanted everybody to develop. And in Tamil, there is a saying called Yadu More Yavarum Keli. So it means that I belong to everyone and everybody belongs to me. Every place is our town and everyone is our relatives and we belong to each other. So this is the belief system that they carried. And now if you see, there is something called, in quantum physics, called as morphic field. So the morphic field, it says that everything in time and space is connected. So if you go to our folk tales, you see Krishna was also raised in a tribal community. When one child falls down, all the gopikas, they rush and come and pick up the child. So that was the type of life we all lived. So there was no competition. Everybody should progress and everybody should have a higher progeny, and every woman was given protection. So that is the tribal mindset. Okay, so from here onwards, we'll move very quickly because we don't have much time. So this is called as Kanni Puja. It is done in the Navratri time. So during the Navratri time, there are around 3 Navratris which come every year. So during the Navratri time, all the girl children, they were invited to the temple and they were worshipped. Okay, even the boy children, the men, everybody worshipped. So here you see they are keeping the turmeric in the feet of the girls and they are giving the aarti. They are pouring water and they are giving the aarti. So this is called as Kanni worship. So women were worshipped, actually worshipped. And there was a very highest amount of respect given to the girls and women. So the next is early to bed and early to rise. So this is something which everybody must follow, not just girls, because it regulates the melatonin hormone. So drawing this kind of geometric pattern. I'm not able to. I'm hearing many voices.
Anjana has to mute. Nokia 8.1, you have to mute.
Anjana ji, can you mute, please? All right, so we'll start. So when you are, mopping the floor or when you are doing this kind of a activity, it gives a lot of exercise to the hips. And sitting down in this posture. This in yoga, it is called as malasana. So this malasana also regulates the prana and apana. So when you do activities in this kind of a asana, it again helps in balancing all your vital energy points. So they were also helping the mothers in different activities. Okay, so all these kind of things, it gives a lot of good exercise to your reproductive organs. And flowers and lamp were placed on these columns. So since they were getting up early, they used to sleep early. So that gives the good melatonin level. Okay, and the earth is very moist during that early morning time. The moisture is very good. The soil is very moist. So when you see this girl, the girl here has kept her foot on the ground. So when you keep your foot on the ground and you're taking this moisture, it gives you a lot of negative ions or the grounding energy from the earth. It gives a lot of healing. It gives a lot of healing to you. And most important thing out of all this is the bowel movement should be always before the sunrise. So before the sunrise, when you have the bowel movement, it is supposed to clear out everything. There are no toxins or no ama left in the body. So that's about this. And many of us nowadays, we follow the batch flower, right? We use this rescue remedy. So all these new kind of medicines have come. But all these have a very, very traditional background. So here you see a little girl, she's wearing a jasmine flower. Okay, so jasmine is also a very important usage in batch flowers. So especially there is one kind of flower called as Jati Malli. Okay, it is a wild jasmine and Pani Roja. So this Jati Malli has a very good, even in aroma therapies. Right now we do a lot of aroma therapies, we do a lot of fumigations. So all this, this is used. These are also, you know, a lot of hormone regulating things they do. They do at a very sensorial level. They make the child happy. And there is something called Pavalamali. It is given as an offering to the goddess in the temple. So this is the Parijat flowers. So this also is a hormone regulator. Very good hormone regulator. You can even put it in the hot water and sip it as a tea. Okay, so next is even the dress and accessories, you know, they were chosen in such a way that there is a very good prana flow. See, when you wear this kind of a dress, it is called as pavadi, pattu pavadi, or in cotton also you can wear. So this kind of a dress, it gives a very good prana circulation to your reproductive organs. Whereas if you wear this leggings and jiggings, what it does is it breaks the circuit. Our body is having a sukshma sharir, or there is a it forms a circuit. The energy body is like a circuit that forms. So when you wear this kind of legging or jegging or jean, it breaks a circuit and it stops the vital energy flow into the reproductive organ. But when you wear this kind of a dressing, the prana flows into your reproductive organs. So it is very good for the reproductive organs, the uterus health. And a lot of accessories are selected so that they're exactly on the acupressure point of the to stimulate the uterus and the hormones. Okay, so if you see here, this child is wearing a anklet or a golusu. So this entire region has a lot of points which stimulates the uterus. Similarly, this earring, this part, this is also a has lot of acupressure point. They are called as varma points or marma points, energy points, where the energy flows into your body. And similarly, she is also wearing a lot of accessories. So this part where you wear the monkey, so that also has a energy point. It is called as Chau Varmam. So, and this Neti Choti, here there is a point. So there are a lot of points from which the energy flows into your body. So accessories are not simply for decorative purpose. So although they add to your beauty, but they're actually having a lot of science behind the selection of the accessories. Okay, and even in the bangles, here, this region also, there is a lot of acupressure point. So if you go to an acupuncturist or acupressurist, they will also, you know, stimulate the same kind of points where these accessories are worn. And there is something called as kunjulam, which they wear in the hair. You know, it touches different parts of the spinal cord. So this girl here is wearing the kunjulam. She is wearing it in the front. That actually touches all the parts of your spinal cord, and that spinal cord is also very important for a place where the energy flows. It has 3 important astral nerves, Ida, Pingala, Sushumna, all meeting together. So accessories were chosen like that. And this bindi also, you have to give a slight pressure here. You have to give a pressure here. So this point is called as Tilartha Kalam. And when you put a slight pressure and lift it up, that energy also flows into the body. It activates the pituitary gland and the pineal gland also. And here, see this girl here, she has taken a center partition. So center partition has to be taken, and neem wood or any wooden stick is used for taking this kind of a partition. That also stimulates different parts of the uterus. And all the reproductive organs and hormones are getting balanced. See, crown is a very important region. So when you are having different accessories, so this is called Chandrakala, this is called Suryakala. So these accessories give a lot of simulation to the crown or the head region. Okay, and for the gut health,
Aparna, I have a question. If you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
when you were talking about the dressing aspect, so
yeah.
for example, when we stay in colder places, like if you stay abroad and all, it's very, very cold all the time throughout the year. So how do you manage at that point of time? Do you have to wear a lot of warm clothes and jeggings and pants, and that's how you cover inside the house? Of course, I agree, because of heaters we can probably wear Indian clothes, where we can even wear petticoats and stuff like that. But outside the house, how do we manage? And most of the time we are working or we're doing things outside the house. So how do we manage at that point of time?
That is a good question. How much ever possible, just try to use this kind of dress. How much ever possible. Okay, so you have told the answer yourself. At home, you can definitely use. So when you are outside, there is obviously we have see. Although I am taking this session, I myself have not followed everything 100%. I'm just sharing my observations. So 100% following all this, you can take it little bit, step by step, little by little each day. So directly on day one, you cannot have all these things. So first start with the oil bath, then buy a little bit of accessories, then try to wear the cloth at home. Try to wear this kind of a pavada or any other regional clothes which you use at home. So do it one by one, step by step. Okay, then you will at one point you will get to a point when you yourself will instinctively know what to do when, and your girl will guide you what to do when. She herself will tell, Amma, I'm not feeling comfortable in this dress. I like that dress more. So she herself will ask you to change the dress. Okay, so we have very less time, so I will rush further. So there is, for gut health, a lot of fermented foods were taken, and especially in this kind of a mud vessel. So this is like overnight fermented rice. So you can look for the recipe in Google. You'll get the recipes, and they are very rich source of microbiome. Very good for your gut health. Okay, now the most important thing. How do you know the onset of menarche is there? Many of the mothers will very much intuitively know. The voice will change. The breast will become more prominent. The pimples will there will be more and more pimples, and certain small hairs, brown color hairs will come. And just create a very safe space. Tell her that I'm creating a safe space so that she can express freely. You're safe to express whatever you want. So at the age of 8 or 10, start giving her more freedom to express. So create that kind of a safe space. Sometimes there is even a white discharge. The behavior also will change. The way they think will change. So a lot of physical, emotional, behavioral changes will be there, and you can easily know. So it is very important for the family member, the mother, the grandmother, to be there for her at the time of menarche. She must not be left alone. So in a lot of rural communities, indigenous communities, they stop sending her to school when they are predicting that menarche is going to happen. The first period is going to happen. So any excursion, any vacations, they will be avoiding at that time. And the vibrationally, you will know that it is going to happen, and everybody is there to support her. The cousin sisters, the elders of the tribe, So you create a safe space so that the communication is very natural and very freely expressed. So any doubts on this particular slide? Okay, so I'll move on. So menstrual seclusion, this is a very important topic, and this is a very highly controversial topic, and it is what to say, it is being spoken in media, and everybody is saying that menstrual seclusion must not be there. Women are equal to men, but there is a lot of science behind it. So before the first menarche, or in generally during the cycles, there is a separation that is maintained in a protective way. They're given protection and also maintained as a seclusion. So this is because the Apana Vayu is very high. The Apana Vayu is very high. But for a normal person, the prana is very high. Okay. So in order to maintain the prana apana balance, the seclusion was maintained. So the next thing is, if you talk about science, we are all made up of atoms, and every atom is discharging electrons. So that electron discharge is also noted to be very high when some kind of research was done in the women during the cycle time. So the downward energy flow has to be maintained. So in order to maintain this downward energy flow, the seclusion was given. The next reason is, during when you are in a very high state of awareness, you develop an intuition. So just the initial 3 days of your cycles, if you are aware of what is happening within your body, your psychic powers, it is called as clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is inner knowing of the soul. So that clairvoyance develops. So the child has an inner knowing, develops an inner knowing. She knows what is best for her. She knows who is the right person, who is not the right person. For example, even when she is of the marriage age, she will know whether the person will be suitable for her or not. So this clairvoyance is a gift for all the women. So more for men, men have to do a lot of sadhana, meditation. They have to sit for 6 hours, 9 hours, and all these things. But for women, only those 3 days, if you are at a state of awareness of your body, you will be able to receive this kind of a clairvoyance ability. So, but it is up to us whether we want our gifts to, we want our inner gifts, or we want to equal ourselves to the men and, talk about freedom and all these things. So menstrual seclusion is a important thing as per me, but as I already said, you can take what resonates with you. So seclusion doesn't mean you are, engaging in, you're distracting yourself with a phone, gadget, or other things. Seclusion means you're aware of what is going on in your body. You're totally 100% aware of what is going on in your body. So that is the purpose of giving a menstrual seclusion. So any doubts on this? Okay, I'll move on. So how exactly is this ritual celebrated? It's a very interesting thing, and the girl actually enjoys it. So it is called as Manjal Neerattuvila, or the turmeric ceremony. The turmeric also is very rich in progesterone. It increases the progesterone level. So and all the materials that we use are vibrationally aligned to the women's hormonal health. So the girl is given blessings from 9 happily married couples, who have crossed the age of 60. So it is called a Shashti Purti. And those who have crossed the age of 70 together. So from highly idealistic persons, she gets the blessings. So the turmeric ceremony is conducted and gifts are given. It is called a seer. Seer is given by different relatives. The most important out of this is black sesame seed. balls made of black sesame seed and sesame oil. Okay, so this again, sesame I have already told, it absorbs a lot of cosmic energy, and in Ayurveda, giving a lot of sesame oil, this process is called a sneha pana. Sneha pana. So this again increases the health of your reproductive organs. Okay, then black rice, and the girl is seated on a place which is made of neem leaves, mango leaves, jasmine flowers. Okay, and you can have traditional. This ceremony is done after the seclusion phase, after the separation phase. You bring the girl and give her this kind of a ritualistic bath, and there is these traditional folk instruments. They are made up of calabash, or the pumpkin is converted into a musical instrument, and that also is vibrationally aligned to the hormones of the luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. All these, all these feminine hormones, they are vibrationally aligned to the woman's body. So everything given is having complete therapeutic properties. So, and a lot of people also, apply turmeric regularly. If you apply turmeric regularly from your menarche time, you will not have any facial hair or any kind of unwanted hair. So post menarche, please avoid sanitary napkins. Have rest during your cycle days. Good to practice seclusion. So temples are again, the upward moving prana is very high. So avoid temples. So easily digested foods have to be taken. So the initial 3 days, do not take bath. But wiping the body with water is fine. Just give a wipe to your body. So avoid daytime sleep. Be in a state of awareness. Avoid tight clothing. So don't glorify this movie actors. So girl must be comfortable as she is, exactly as she is in her body. So all the size 0 and other things are all damaging the minds of persons. So the next thing is, these are general things which we discuss in our WhatsApp group. Avoid milk. So unless you are having a cow yourself and taking care of it, as a family member, you can avoid Ajinomoto, maida, sugar. Okay, never compare or judge. Create a safe space. Okay, there are a lot of subliminal programming goes on in the media, like size 0, and even calling the child as beta. Even in Tamil Nadu, they call her as Kanna. So that again creates it's a subliminal message. Your subconscious understands it as okay, I have to become equal to the boy child. So you please call her as Beti, because she is much more than much more gifted than yeah. So this is I want to end this session by saying, wherever women are worshipped, there is abundance and prosperity. And you can go through this book called as Biology of Belief. So in our tradition, there is a belief that when a woman is born, Lakshmi is born, and she brings abundance and blessings and auspiciousness with her. So you believe that, and definitely she will do good for you. Okay, and I want to end by giving my gratitude to the place from where I have collected all this research. It is from Madurai. It's a divine kshetram. It's an kshetram in Sanskrit is not just a place. It's an energy field. So once you are in that field, and once you are vibrationally aligned with that field, the knowledge automatically comes to you. You don't have to go and search for knowledge. It comes to you. So it's a cradle of civilization. It's Sangam literature and fine arts. And the rishis had darshan of knowledge in that kshetra, in Madurai kshetra. So this is, I want to end by showing my painting to you. So any further questions, anyone? You extended by 5 minutes.
Aparna, there are some questions in the chat box. Can you just go through the chat box and just see?
Okay.
And what was the book you told us to read?
I have not mentioned any book in this session, and
Just now last you
whatever
said.
I have mentioned is not from any book. It is from my own research. But you can read Rutu Vidya by Sino Joseph.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a
thank
very good book. Yeah,
Can you
Ritu
mention the
Vidya?
name on the chat box if possible?
yeah, sure. I'll write down. It's RTU Vidya. Right? Sino Joseph. Yeah, you can read this book. So I'll go through the comments. Should it be done every day? Okay, is this for?
I
Yeah,
want to ask.
yeah.
Hello, can
Yes,
you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You said please avoid the sanitary pads, but in current scenario, like we are living in the cities and girls goes to school,
Yeah.
then what is the option?
See, we have to take the best possible decision. See, if you are more focused on unwinding the gifts within your child, whatever gift she carries, then you will maybe ask the school for a menstrual leave. So nowadays, many people are becoming more and more aware, and I think there is a discussion going on with even at government level to give a menstrual leave. So you can take the leave during the menstrual days because I already told you the science behind this. The apana is very high when you are menstruating. The apana vayu is very high, and when you are mingling with the others, the prana apana gets imbalanced. So we have to make a choice whether we want to unwind the gifts what we are carrying, or we want to go with the system. So that is a choice we are making every day.
Madam, while working, very wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all the information. Thank you.
Madam, for a working woman, it is difficult to take a leave and all when we are working, especially in the private sector.
Yeah.
So at least what kind of precautions we can take?
See, you have to see, nowadays it is many people are getting the awareness of this menstrual seclusion. So you can ask for a menstrual leave, or you can work from home.
No, like we are into teaching field, so it is difficult to work from home and these things cannot happen. So like we have to go, that is there. After going, at least what kind of precautions we can take? Leaves we don't get hardly, we can't use for all these things. No? So in that case, is there any way to balance? Like,
yeah, your situation is very difficult, especially you are working with children. If you're teaching, then you're working with children, and children have lot of prana. Okay, so you are in an environment where the prana is very high, because every child is carrying very high prana. The upward mobility is very high. So that kind of environment will definitely give you an imbalance.
Okay.
Okay, so but see, if you can definitely not avoid it, if whenever you are getting your cycle on a Saturday or Sunday, what you do is on the leave or on the leave days, even in the summer vacation or the winter vacation or puja holidays, at that time you be in a complete meditative state. Just keep observing what is happening inside your body. Just keep in a total awareness of at a very, very cellular level. Okay, start with that. Start with that, and things will start developing from.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any other questions are there? Have I missed any question in the chat? Okay, another book which I had shared is Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Sorry, I missed it. What I was mentioning is if you are believing that your child is the form of Lakshmi, she is bringing abundance, she is bringing auspiciousness, definitely you will experience it. But if you are believing that it will be stressful, I have to earn more for getting her married, I have to have a lot of stress, then that will manifest. So just believe that she is form of abundance, she is auspicious, you're fortunate to have her, all good things will manifest. In fact, I have personally seen after the birth of girl child, some father will get promotion, or some relative who is not getting married for a long time will get married. I have personally seen all these happening. Or suddenly you'll get a bonus at work. So, or lot of good things things will start moving for you. Lot of good things start happening. So just believe in it. So the thing with us is we have to give a proof or a research for everything. In the ancient times, whatever the ancestors told, whatever the previous generation told, we just blindly believed it. Now we have to give a science backing or a research backing or an Ayurveda backing for everything. Only then we are able to believe it. So that is why I mentioned all these book names. Okay, so we'll end this session in next few minutes. Before that, anyone has any question? Did I miss any question in the chat?
You mentioned that girls are getting up in the morning in a traditional way, they're playing. So that is an observation from past, or is it still happening someplace?
Yeah, most of these practices have vanished. Okay, so when I was in Madurai during my childhood days, I have seen all these practices happening. So even during the puberty celebration, right? Celebration, they had all these traditional music instruments made up of pumpkin seed. Pumpkin calabash. Okay, so lot of folklores were sung. But recently, when I went to the place, they were singing movie songs. Okay, and most of these practices have got modernized, and even the tribal mindset. What I mentioned. Everybody has to be vibrationally aligned, the morphic field and all that. Lot of people's have minds have got damaged by watching all these reality show and all these programs which they show in the TV. This
Yes.
SARS material. So a lot of things have got corrupted these days. So I see a lot of things missing and out of place.
Yeah. So majority is actually going on a path like this, but for many minority people who are beginning to see that that these things should be preserved through us. So is there a method to easily grasp it in terms of if you are planning to establish a community, then can we restore all these ideas easily? Is there a book or guiding or people working for it who can guide eco villages or sustainable living places like that so that they can adopt this culture easily?
Yeah, see, many people have saved this tradition. Not everyone has, completely. I will not say it is completely wiped out. So a lot of people are taking efforts to preserve the tradition, and there are even now there are parents who refuse to send their children to school during the menarche time. So I will not say it is completely vanished.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have doubt. I have a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yes, please ask.
Regarding this oil bath, should it be done every day?
No, you can see for women, the most best days are Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. And for men, they can do it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. For women, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. For men, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Oh, okay. And one more doubt. My family, they used to tell you're not supposed to take oil bath on the day you were born. Like if you were born on a Wednesday, that day you're not supposed to have நல்லெண்ணெய் வச்சு குளிக்க கூடாது. That is what they tell.
Yeah, I
I mean,
mentioned
no,
when I
not on the birth star, on the day.
yeah, on the tithi, on the lunar day when you are born, at that time also you can avoid it, because see this whatever the panchang has tithi, nakshatra, vara, karan, whatever is your linked to your birth, at that day you are highly receptive, so you are receptive to all kinds of energies. Okay, so so you have to be more protective of yourself on that particular day.
No, she's talking about the weekday. She's talking about the weekday, Saturday
Yeah.
or Wednesday.
Yeah, that is called varam. Somavaram.
Varam.
Yeah, varam also you can is linked to your birth. So whichever panchang, varam or tithi or nakshatra, karanam, anything which is linked to your birth, on that day you are highly receptive. You're receptive to all sorts of energies. Whereas in the other days, you can filter out. You're aware that what you should observe, what you should not observe. Your body has sensing ability to know what you have to be receptive for, what you should not be receptive for. So you become slightly weak on that your anything linked to your Indian calendar birth day. Is it fine? Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Anyone else has any question?
And encyclopedical. Seba.
So then we can end it here, Aparna ji, I think, and maybe we can have one more session if people are interested in understanding some.
Yeah, I have a lot of other. Until yesterday, I was confused what to share, what not to share. I have a lot of other things also. So maybe we can have another session sometime later on,
Right.
as a continuation of this.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Aparna ji. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Aparna. This was very useful. Too many things that we did not know previously, we got to know. So thanks a lot, and please plan as many sessions as you feel the need to, I mean, if you have more content, we would love to hear from you.
Sure.
All right.
Thank
you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aparna. Really
thanks.
wonderful sharing. Wonderful sharing, wonderful listening to you. Can't imagine that everything has so much significance. Thank you.
Yes. So
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಕ್ಕ.
you can post your doubts or queries in the group also. I'll respond to it. I thank EKF. I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Aparna.
Thank you. Bye.